Today we're going to talk about negative keywords in Google Ads and where to use them. Hi, I'm Dan Wood from Break Digital, and if you have built a new campaign in Google Ads, you might not know about negative keywords. The negative keyword creation or selection process isn't actually a part of the new campaign setup steps that you go through in Google Ads. It's something that you have to add afterwards or have already set up before you run a new campaign. And it's really important because your negative keywords suppress your ads from showing when the negative keyword is part of the user's search term. I guess probably most people spend most of their life absorbed with the particulars of their business. Most people tend to overemphasize the importance or relevance or general awareness of what it is that they do on a day-to-day basis. For example, if you sell automotive batteries or home solar backup batteries, that's the kind of battery you think about all the time, and you might not realize that most people are searching for other kinds of batteries when they're looking for batteries, because cell phone batteries, laptop batteries, hearing aid batteries, electric vehicle batteries, golf cart batteries, all of these topics are actually just as big or bigger. So once you list all of these other types of batteries, then the amount of search that's out there, or the part of the internet dedicated to, let's say, lead acid car batteries, is actually a really small percentage. It's a very small slice of the pie if you include all of the battery related searches out there. And that's the same with any subject. So even if you've picked really excellent keywords for your ads, for your business, you might not be aware of all of the other search volume, all of the other parts of the internet out there that overlap with your keywords but aren't relevant to you. And that's why we use negative keywords. We need to suppress those things from showing up when our ads are running, so our ad budget is focused optimally only on the tiny slice of the pie of keywords that's relevant for your business. So this diagram here represents your Google Ads account overall. So we have an ad account. You can have one or more campaigns within that Google Ads account. Typically, this would be because location is set at the campaign level. So you might have an East Coast campaign and a West Coast campaign or something like that. Budget is also set here. So you might have high volume keywords with their own budget in a separate campaign, separated from all of the low volume but higher importance keywords. So that's a way to segment your budget differently. And you might have different campaigns just because you have a display campaign and a search campaign and a performance max campaign and a shopping campaign. In this example, we have two search campaigns. Each campaign has one or more ad groups, and an ad group is a collection of keywords and ads that are relevant to each other. So any keyword in that ad group can trigger any ad in that ad group. And the more specifically we can write an ad for each keyword that you're targeting, the more likely someone is going to click on your ad, because when they see the list of ads and search results, they're looking for a specific answer to the question they've just asked Google. There are times where you want to add a negative keyword specifically to one ad group or the other. And that would be if you have maybe some overlap of the keywords, you want to force some keywords to see ad B and some of them to see ad A, something like that. This is usually the easiest thing to do in the Google Ads interface, but it's not necessarily the best because it's really hard to find a collection of all of the keywords if you've just added them to this ad group and that ad group. And if the same negative keyword applies to more ad groups, then you're going to add it to each of those ad groups, and now you've got multiple instances of the same keyword, and it can get really hard to manage really quickly. So we can add negative keywords at the campaign level. And this is great if you have, again, in that example of an East Coast campaign and a West Coast campaign, you might have West Coast place names as negatives on the East Coast ads and vice versa. So you're using negative keywords to force Google to use one campaign or the other based on keywords that you want to be used for one campaign, but not the other one. If you have the same set of negative keywords that you want to apply to multiple campaigns, again, this is that example where if you sell whole home backup batteries or batteries that store power from solar panels, then you want to have a negative keyword list that is going to always suppress keywords from each one of your campaigns. Keyword lists are way easier to build and way easier to manage than keywords that are added individually at the campaign or ad group level. We have a campaign here that I took over from another agency a few months ago, and back when I started looking at their campaigns, their search terms report showed that they just had a ton of completely irrelevant search. These guys install epoxy floors, like resurfacing for garage floors. They don't actually use epoxy, they use something better, but epoxy is the one thing that people search for. Polyaspartic and polyurea is what they do. So you can see the keywords here are pretty relevant to their service, but we had a lot of search in here for people who wanted to buy the epoxy to do it themselves rather than have the service done for them. Okay, so here's a couple keywords I excluded for this account. Floor paint. They don't sell floor paint, they just do the service of finishing people's garage floors. So I had to go through a lot of keywords from the old agency because they had a lot of broad keywords. They were picking up a ton of search for people who were looking to buy different kinds of paint and patching materials and kind of stuff that you would get at Home Depot. So I had to go through and find things like floor paint and add it as a negative keyword. Now, you can see you can add this at the ad group, the campaign, or in the negative keyword list level, like I showed you before in the slides. These guys. If we add it to this campaign, then we also have to remember to add it to other campaigns. If we add it to this ad group, there are good reasons for that, but in this case, because floor paint's just something they never do, we want to put it on a negative keyword list. So sometimes I'll make negative keyword lists for different purposes just to sort of categorize the different types of negative keywords. For example, there's job seeker negative keywords. There are different products or services, like if your client has or your business has multiple lines of business, then there might be negative keywords for different lines of business just to keep your campaign from competing with each other. Once we choose a negative keyword list, you can also add a negative keyword list in this interface if there isn't one. The way to create a negative keyword list from scratch is to go into Tools, Shared Library, and Exclusion Lists. And that's where you can see that you can create a negative keyword list, or this is the keyword list I was just about to add to before. It's already got a ton of keywords on them, almost 1,000 actually. And then you have to apply to the campaigns. So, all right, well, this one's already applied to all of the campaigns, old and new, pretty much. Now, the one drawback with negative keyword lists is that you have to remember to add them to new campaigns. Remember, I said the negative keyword setup or configuration isn't part of the campaign creation process in Google Ads. Even if it's part of your SOP or part of your instruction set for you or whoever's setting up ads for your clients or your business, it can get missed. It's really disheartening to find out you've gone to the trouble of creating a 1,000 word negative keyword list only to see that it wasn't applied to a campaign when you look at your search terms report after the campaign's been running for a little while. To get around that, there's one more place where you can add negative keywords, and it's the content suitability section. Content suitability is a list of account-wide exclusions and negative keywords that you can set. One of my favorite content exclusions is the job seeker set of keywords. Most businesses, most clients I have don't want to advertise for job openings. They never will. That's not a part of their marketing budget. So go to Tools, Content Suitability, and that opens up this cool section here. There's different types of inventory. These don't apply to search campaigns. They apply to all of the other campaign types. It's recommending standard. We can also go limited, with more conservative, or we can go expanded inventory, which is more open, I guess. There's a specific list of things here. So for these guys, standard inventory is probably fine. I mean, they are a reputable contracting company, so we probably don't want their ad showing next to too much crazy stuff. So we'll put that there. If you were doing something like advertising a church group or children's entertainment or something like that, then you'd want to go limited inventory, I'm pretty sure. Then we also have sensitive content. Again, this is just for like PMAX, display campaigns, and this will prevent your content from showing next to, or your ads from showing next to, tragedy and conflict or sensitive social issues. Now we have excluded types and labels. So it's a good idea to exclude below the fold. That means ads that show below where the bottom of the screen is, ads that you would have to scroll to see. And parked domains, apparently there's a lot of spam coming from parked domains. That's where someone's bought a domain name, but there's no website there. And if you get there, there's just a list of links, like Google AdSense, essentially, a list of Google ads. Some scammers will try to send cheaper paid traffic to that site just to get paid when people click the ads. That doesn't help anyone. You can also exclude some other stuff here. And then excluded content themes. So you might have good reasons to exclude religion or politics or fighting games. That's an option in here too. A lot of these things are also configurable at the campaign level, but again, this is just that one place to put it down across the whole account. It can simplify your account build and make sure that nothing falls through the cracks when it comes to excluded content keywords. So here's the start of my list for job related keywords, because we don't want to advertise for job openings with our marketing budget. So apprentice, apprenticeship, employment, full-time hiring, job, part-time training. If these negative keywords are part of someone's search, our ads won't show. This list can go on and on because you want to brainstorm all of the terms that people will use if they're researching how to start the kind of business that this client is. So that's why I have apprenticeship. You also probably want to make a keyword for salary, or if it was a specific type of contractor with an easy name, then if they were an electrician, I would say how much does an electrician make? But wage, earn, those kinds of things will be good negative keywords to get rid of anyone who's searching for, like, researching starting this business or trying to get a job at this business. So hiring, full-time, part-time training. These are negative keywords that will apply all over the campaign because they're in content suitability, not just a negative keyword list or at the campaign level. They'll apply to all of your campaign forever. You can also add things in here to do with like lawsuit, scam, or bad review, or other keywords that you don't want your ads showing up next to. And remember, we had the example before about the battery company and all of the many different types of batteries that there are. This would be a great place to exclude all of those other irrelevant battery types from the account once and for all, account wide, on all campaigns past and future. Anyway, I hope that helps. If this has been valuable to you, please like, subscribe, share this with someone who you think might benefit. And if you are interested in more content, you can also check out my website, breakdigital.com, or links below for upcoming training courses and info on our coaching program. Thanks for watching.